5090, 9800X3D, Monster Hunter Wilds, 12-volt power cables, ROPS. These are the terms that are trending this past month, and with good reason. The PC and gaming industry is crashing, and it's taking everyone with it. The more you buy, the less you get should be the motto for 2025. The 5090 and the 5080 are experiencing issues yet again, what with the 12-volt power cable melting connections and even maybe destroying the GPUs. The same issue that they should have solved with the 4090 rears its ugly head again. And that's not all. For only $2,000 or more, you get to have a graphics card that was rushed to the market and missing a few ROPs. What are ROPs? I don't know, and neither do you. But apparently, you paid to have all the ROPs, and a lot of the GPUs don't have them. So now you know why the 5080 in some reports were actually less powerful than a 4080 Super. It was the ROPs. Yet you still had to funnel all of that electricity through those itty-bitty 12-volt cables. But even if you were lucky enough to not have these issues with your graphics card, there's another issue. The graphics drivers messed up your graphics card so they wouldn't output any graphics. So all you get was a black screen. So how do you roll back the drivers if you can't see your screen? I don't know. And I stopped asking questions when I realized that it really wasn't worth getting a 50 series or any graphics card yet again for the 5th year, or maybe longer. But were you thinking that AMD was any better?
No!
If Nvida wasn't enough, the incredible 9800X3D turns out to not be so incredible after all, because now there are widespread reports of the CPU just straight up dying on people, just kaput. Why? I don't know, and neither do you. It just is. It's how the industry is now, and yet you're still buying it. I hope not. And even if all of that were just a small percentage of the market, works on my machine.
Oh, good for you!
With that very expensive graphics card and top-of-the-line gaming PC, you'll have the privilege of playing poorly optimized games that look like Vaseline at 4K and barely 60 frames per second on high graphics settings, with DLSS and FrameGen and FSR and whatever else they invent to cater to the lazy developers and their crappy engines that are rushed out the door. If you buy these games, you really are the beta testers, finding out all the bugs and glitches while they hopefully patch it up after you've paid $70. So why am I going to be excited for anything new anymore? I was all in for PC gaming in 2024. I thought they were really going to get better in 2025. Obviously, that's not the case. You've got to be kidding me with charging $2,000 for a piece of metal and plastic that melts and destroys itself when you use it. What is this, the Xbox 360? At least the Xbox had games back then, but now the games might as well be on the level of graphics quality of an Xbox 360, or at least a PS4, because apparently no one can develop games with better graphics than anything past 2015. Monster Hunter Wilds resolution dips down to 720p on consoles in order to up-res it up to 4K. Wow, such much. And the only way you get a reasonable experience on the PC is if you have a 4090 or a 5090. If it doesn't melt, that is. And that should always be said after anyone mentioned these cards. Will it melt? It's no longer will it play Crysis, it's will the graphics card melt? I'm not even mad anymore that I couldn't upgrade my PC, even though I still need a new one. Will the 9070 XT from AMD be any better? Will they have better quality control? Will the prices not be insane? Can you trust the 9800 X3D anymore? And is the 7800 X3D still viable? All of this just to play some video games and watch YouTube videos. If you do ever upgrade to a new PC, it would have to be something very low power at this point. I don't trust the industry to make anything cutting edge anymore. Intel had the right idea with the B580, though I wonder how that card sold. They sure had a big deal of trouble a few years before with their own CPUs destroying themselves. The industry needs to do better. If you're charging premium prices, the product better be worth it. Nobody buys a Lamborghini for a V6 with a turbo and fake engine sounds coming from the speakers. And this is a thing that some car companies are doing. And please, if Lamborghini does this too, don't let me know. It's just a sad state of affairs. Hire better people. Take your time. Make sure the product is rock solid and that it lasts for more than 10 years. The goodwill of respecting your customers will go further than shoddily rushing out products that you know people will buy anyway. But eventually people will catch on, and they'll find other things to spend their time and money on. Why buy something that you know won't last any longer than a year max? Even the Apple fanatics don't do that anymore, now that iPhones cost as much as a laptop. I suppose if you have money to burn, literally, then none of this really matters to you. But for the majority of people, what's going on lately is unacceptable. Nvidia, AMD, game developers, they all have some explaining to do. And saying it's just new technology isn't going to cut it anymore. The next gen of consoles will probably be here sooner than we think, and I will bet that they'll be using backwards compatibility, so all of these resolution issues will be sorted out. But if they end up still using frame gen and upsampling as a crutch, then I expect all of these same issues in the industry will continue. 8K games won't look any better than 1080p, and they'll charge you more money for it. What a disaster. Anyway, till next time.